If I don't like one record, if I don't connect with one moment, why does that suddenly become betrayal? That mindset never made sense to me. Honesty shouldn't be treated like disrespect. I refuse to muzzle my own voice just to protect someone else's ego. The second truth gets filtered through fear. Authenticity dies. But that's the exact trap Plaqboy Max stepped into. For weeks, whispers of threats followed him online. Then everything escalated when NBA YoungBoy himself locked onto the streamer. The Louisiana rapper detonated publicly, stripping dignity from his name and implying consequences that felt disturbingly real. Max believed criticism could exist without conflict. Instead, he crossed into territory ruled by loyalty and pride. And in that world, nobody tests hop without repercussions. The tragedy is deeper when you remember history. Plaqboy Max wasn't an outsider throwing shade. He was one of NBA YoungBoy's strongest digital supporters, blasting his music daily to massive audiences and celebrating every drop. Years of visible loyalty unraveled after one blunt reaction to a new release. Admiration flipped into hostility overnight. This wasn't routine online tension. Messages tied to YoungBoy's circle carried weight, and both men were booked for the same Rolling Loud date. Suddenly, distance collapsed. To understand how criticism evolved into looming confrontation, we have to rewind to the fracture's origin back, when loyalty still seemed unbreakable. Max built his platform on raw sincerity. His viewers trusted reactions that felt human, not manufactured. Pretending excitement would betray them. Yet NBA YoungBoy had long shown zero tolerance for perceived disrespect. To him, rejecting the art meant rejecting the man. Two identities collided, one rooted in truth, the other in pride. That tension was inevitable. The first visible crack surfaced July 2025, when YoungBoy released Massa. During his stream, Max paused, conflicted, then admitted he couldn't finish the project. Those viral edits erased every moment Plaqboy Max showed admiration, isolating only criticism until it resembled hostility. Context vanished. Respect disappeared. What remained looked like pure contempt toward NBA YoungBoy, even though Max had spoken the same honest way he always had. The distortion reached Montana, a paternal figure inside YoungBoy's tight inner circle. And he took the clips as personal disrespect. He jumped onto Instagram, firing back with open hostility, branding Max a jealous outsider and dismissing him as irrelevant to their world. The message was clear: if you're not loyal, stay away. His tone carried the arrogance of borrowed power, the kind that comes from standing beside a feared star. But beneath that bravado was wounded pride. YoungBoy's camp wasn't ignoring the criticism, they were absorbing it. Then came the day everything detonated. Plaqboy Max was midstream, relaxed routine, until chat messages exploded across his screen. Check NBA YoungBoy's Twitter. The atmosphere shifted instantly. When Max opened the post, the color drained from his face. YoungBoy had targeted him directly. Insults sharpened, masculinity questioned, silence demanded. It wasn't a jab. It was a public humiliation designed to dominate. For someone who had promoted him for years, the betrayal cut deeper than any diss. Viewers watched the shock unfold in real time. Max stared, stunned, asking what he'd done to deserve it, reminding everyone he'd always supported YoungBoy. That reaction revealed fear beneath confusion. He didn't clap back. He tried to repair, instead of defending his opinion. Max slipped into explanation listing loyalty, streams praise, hoping history might soften the attack. But that instinct exposed something raw. He believed consequences were possible. His chat split into chaos. Some urged him to stand firm. Others warned him to back down. Messages flooded in about YoungBoy's reputation, stories of retaliation, warnings about crossing the 4KT circle. The dread was real because Max knew the narratives surrounding YoungBoy weren't just internet mythology. This was an artist rumored to act, not just speak. And in that moment, every rumor felt plausible. Desperate to calm the storm, Plaqboy Max reached privately toward Montana, sending respectful messages affirming love for both him and YoungBoy, clarifying that reactions were simply honest opinions. No insult intended. No disrespect meant. The messages stayed unopened. Silence replaced resolution. That silence confirmed what fear already whispered. This conflict had moved beyond misunderstanding into territory neither apology nor squingy explanation could easily undo anymore. That call exposed something deeper than either side expected. Even insiders around NBA YoungBoy couldn't fully explain why his reaction toward Plaqboy Max had escalated so intensely. Academics suggested a quieter possibility that distorted clips might have shaped YoungBoy's perception, presenting Max as disrespectful rather than honest. In the digital age, fragments travel faster than truth. Context disappears. Nuance dies. And if YoungBoy only saw the harshest seconds, the loyalty behind them would have remained invisible. But another detail from that conversation chilled the situation further. Both Max and YoungBoy were booked for the same Rolling Loud date. Same grounds, same night, same tension. Academics understood the risk immediately. Conflict that lived online would suddenly share physical space. He urged resolution before proximity turned hostility into confrontation. Outside that conversation, the temperature kept rising. Across timelines and comment sections, segments of YoungBoy's fanbase interpreted his anger as permission. Harassment multiplied. Threats appeared. Personal details about Plaqboy Max circulated. Some messages hinted at appearing in real-life shows, venues, public events. The line between internet hostility and physical danger blurred. Max tried to maintain composure publicly, insisting he had never attacked YoungBoy personally expressed musical preference. But inside YoungBoy's worldview, the separation didn't exist. Disliking the art equaled rejecting the artist. Intent didn't matter. Perception ruled. Then the commentary ecosystem fractured. Other streamers began weighing in, and their reactions exposed fear beneath opinion. Some defended Max's right to honesty. Others urged apology for survival. That divide revealed YoungBoy's gravitational pull in the streaming world. Few wanted to stand openly beside Max, worried they could become the next target. By then, Plaqboy Max faced a now-in equation. Apologize and authenticity dies. Stand firm and escalation becomes unpredictable. His career identity hung between integrity and safety. The incident illuminated a larger shift in hip-hop's media landscape. Artists increasingly welcomed promotion from streamers while resisting critique. Praise was acceptable. Dissent was betrayal. Max's experience became cautionary folklore among creators, evidence that honest reaction could trigger retaliation. Subtle self-censorship spread quietly afterward, reshaping how commentary operated online. And history suggested pattern, not anomaly. YoungBoy had clashed before with figures like DJ Ghost, and even academics himself, when coverage felt insufficiently respectful. Criticism, even from supporters, often registered as attack. More unsettling was how segments of his fanbase translated posts into action. When YoungBoy publicly confronted someone, followers sometimes treated it like instruction harassment, escalating into threats. That level of influence, wielded emotionally, carried real-world consequences. For Plaqboy Max, the lesson was permanent. Honesty toward certain artists now came with measurable risk. When you step back and view the entire fallout, this conflict exposes something deeply broken in how certain artists respond to criticism in the social media era. Instead of absorbing honest feedback and moving forward, NBA YoungBoy transformed a single musical opinion into a personal crusade that carried real-world risk for Plaqboy Max. The streamer continues creating content today. Still present, still active, yet unmistakably altered. His reactions now arrive filtered through caution, especially when discussing volatile artists. That shift represents a silent victory for YoungBoy's narrative control, but a quiet defeat for authenticity itself. The legacy left by NBA YoungBoy in this moment is layered and uneasy. To supporters, he demonstrated zero tolerance for perceived disrespect, reinforcing loyalty through intimidation. Yet simultaneously, he revealed a willingness to weaponize influence against someone whose role was simply commentary. That contradiction sits at the center of the controversy. Massive platforms come with invisible gravity. Millions of devoted followers amplify every word. When directed emotionally, that amplification can expose individuals to genuine harm. In this case, power was used not to engage criticism, but to erase it. Realistically, the entire spiral could have ended before it began. Ignoring Max's opinion or addressing it privately would have diffused escalation instantly. Instead, the response became public, personal, and disproportionate, magnifying conflict beyond necessity. Leadership within culture demands restraint. Here, ego outweighed perspective. The result was avoidable damage for Plaqboy Max. The lesson carved deep in modern hip-hop commentary. Honesty can carry consequences. For NBA YoungBoy, the episode cemented a reputation for defending image through fear rather than indifference. That imprint complicates legacy. Artists thrive when critique coexists with admiration. Suppressing dissent fractures that balance. Something intangible also eroded during this clash. Authentic discourse, the candid exchange that shapes music culture, lost ground. When creators hesitate to speak openly, audiences receive performance instead of truth. Artists lose unfiltered feedback. Fans lose genuine reaction. Everyone receives a curated illusion. Ultimately, this confrontation wasn't about one song or one stream. It illuminated power dynamics reshaping digital hip-hop spaces. Plaqboy Max wasn't targeted for wrongdoing. He was targeted for honesty. And in a landscape increasingly driven by loyalty over critique, that honesty became the most dangerous act of all.